The Crystal Healing Certification Program is coming soon. Want to know more? For info, free training, and to get on the list, go to crystalhealerschool.com. Hey there, Ashley Levy here with the Love and Light School of Crystal Therapy, and I was just about to sit down and start working with a couple of my crystals, and I thought it would be really fun to actually show you a little bit about what I am working with. So today I'm working with some Aragonite, and I just thought it was pretty cool because I pulled out all my Aragonite and I realized it really comes in so many different formations and colors, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about them and show and tell a few of my crystals and discuss their properties a little bit. So I guess we'll start out with one of my favorites, and this is blue Aragonite. Now this looks like a stone that would not be real at all, but it is, and it looks like maybe it would even be dyed. But this is a really phenomenal blue Aragonite, and you can see this piece here looks quite a bit like coral. So you have this little coral-like bit here, and then these long skinny tubes. And that's because it's actually made out of the same thing as coral. It's calcium carbonate. But whereas coral comes from a living thing, an Aragonite was never living. But it's made out of a carbonate, so it had carbon in it, which means that it is composed of something that was living at one time. So this is pretty cool. Really, really gorgeous. This piece right here is actually from China. That's where a lot of the blue Aragonite comes from. And this is actually a real, the real natural color of this crystal, which is pretty neat. I also have a couple tumbled pieces of this stone. So I thought I'd show you what it looks like when it's tumbled and polished. So you can kind of see, really similar color. It's really light and bright and beautiful, but this is an awesome stone for communication. Obviously it's light blue. It works well at the throat chakra, but I tend to use it for communication with spirit guides, ascended masters. It would be good for connection with angels and that kind of thing, if that's your preference for who you work with. But for me, this is really more about connecting with my own personal guides and teachers through meditation. I really love that. But it's also a stone for helping you to speak compassionately and speak from the heart. And here's another one, so you can kind of see it just really comes in, all different little shapes and sizes, but I love this. So that is just blue Aragonite. Now there are lots of other Aragonites. So this is a piece of botrytis Aragonite, and this piece is from Peru. So this is kind of a rusty brown color, but pretty neat still. And this botrytis Aragonite, anytime you have something that's botrytis, that formation helps you deal with things that are bubbling up to the surface, right? It's kind of inherent in the shape of the crystal, but this is a grounding crystal. This is a really strong earth energy crystal, this brown botrytis Aragonite. And so if you're having a day where you feel really spacey, or you're having trouble focusing or getting centered, this brown botrytis Aragonite is a little bit harder to find, but it's an amazing stone for grounding. I just feel like it really anchors you into the physical, into the here and now. So an awesome stone to work with. Then there's Sputnik Aragonite, which is probably the one that most of you are the most familiar with. So this is an Aragonite Sputnik, and it has these little barrel-shaped crystals that come out from a central point. So it's almost similar to a barnacle style. And Virginia, thank you. They are beautiful. I love these. A lot of people just think they're kind of, especially because they're brown, that they're not super exciting, but they're so cute. How can you not love these? So this is Sputnik Aragonite, and it also comes sometimes more tightly packed. So you can see this is actually the same thing, but the crystals are really tightly packed, and that's called a brain formation, or brain Aragonite, and they have different names that way, which is interesting, even though they're the same thing. But these are good for helping you get focused when you have lots of different details to pull together. They're also great for decision making when you're feeling really overwhelmed. And I have this cute little baby one too. I love these guys. These are great for crystal grids, these really tiny ones. But because they're good for decision making and focus, sometimes if you just need to kind of reset for a minute, you can place one of these over your third eye. These little cute ones especially are great for that. And I actually have one of these that I think is really interesting because it's not brown. It's actually transparent. It's kind of a clear white. And you can see there's a little bit of, there's a couple brown ones on here. But I just thought this one was so interesting because it didn't have that color. Now, from my understanding, that color actually comes from iron and some other trace minerals. So it is possible to find them in this clear variety as well. But still, this is, for this stone, it's really about that formation, pulling together lots of different things, lots of scattered details into something cohesive. So great for planning and that sort of thing. Okay, now I want to show you something really cool. And this is something that I just found in 2017, early 2017. And this is Aragonite that has an aura coating on it. So this is just like the Sputnik Aragonite that we just looked at, but how freaking gorgeous is this? So this one has an angel aura coating, which means it has vaporized precious metals, in this case platinum, on the surface of the crystal to give it this beautiful iridescence. And I think these are stunning. So when I talked a little bit before about how Aragonite's good for connection with spirit guides and enhancing meditation, these angel aura pieces in particular would be amazing for that, because platinum is a really high vibration, really high frequency. So you combine that with the properties of the Aragonite and you get some amazing results. And Jessica, thank you so much. I love these too. So I want to show you another one. Okay, it's a little bit different. So here's one that has a cobalt aura. And so the cobalt aura has cobalt and I believe indium, but these are super beautiful as well. They're very iridescent, but they have that deep kind of midnight blue with little hints of pink and green. And I just, oh, you can even see this one over here sparkling a little bit. I love these. So these were really a fun find, a little bit different. I personally like aura crystals. A lot of healers don't work with them because they're not 100% natural, but my feeling is that they still have all natural materials. It's not like a dyed crystal where there's something synthetic. They're man encouraged. You wouldn't find them that way in nature. But I do appreciate the fact that you get the energy combination of the stone plus that precious metal is just interesting to me, and I find them really beautiful and I like to work with them. So thank you. I know, thanks Virginia. I like them too. So let's go to our next formation and type of aragonite here. This is a golden aragonite, and this piece here is from Morocco. And so you can see this is, it's kind of like a golden, a little bit light brown, but there's long striated crystals in this formation. And I really like this. It reminds me of the rays of the sun. And I've seen this called golden ray aragonite also. And this is really a stone of divine light, spiritual connection. So it's awesome for enhancing meditation. And I love this stone. It's perfect right now for the winter. This is actually the piece I was looking for when I went to go through and grab some of my crystals. I'm feeling that little bit of winter blues, and I wanted some of this golden ray aragonite just to kind of give me a little bit of warmth and a little pick-me-up. So kind of a great crystal to work with right now. And Barbara says, what crystals are recommended for anxiety and insomnia or relaxation? So Barbara, the blue aragonite would definitely be amazing for relaxation. It's such a serene, tranquil, peaceful stone, but you could also try a couple of my favorites personally are aquamarine and lepidolite. Okay, so now I want to show you something else. This is a little bit rarer color of aragonite. This is actually a violet aragonite, and these pieces come from Spain. They usually have a little bit of gray or almost like a greenish kind of band on either end, and then the center or core is a little bit more of that violet purple. And you can see this one's very, very purple. Most of the ones that you find aren't quite this violet. They're a little bit more in the gray category. but this is an awesome one for cleansing your energy field. This is a really high vibe crystal. I love working with it, but it's still so solid and earthy. So it just really helps to clear that energy field, clear your aura, remove any psychic debris, emotionally charged energy, things that just aren't serving you. So you can kind of start fresh. So that's a fun one to try out. And then next, these are some of my favorites. So I'm going to show you two at once. So this is a white aragonite from Mexico, and this is a white aragonite from China. This one is sometimes called cave calcite because aragonite and calcite actually have the same chemical composition, but the molecules are just arranged in a slightly different structure, which is pretty interesting. So they have very similar energies, but these are just two forms of white aragonite that I love working with. These are so light and ethereal. So if you're doing a lot of heavy duty spiritual work, again, aragonite to the rescue that way, but these are also super cleansing. So having them out in your space is amazing. This one I actually keep in a little crystal terrarium in my bedroom near my bed, just to help keep the energy nice and light and clear so that I can sleep well at night. And this one I work with sometimes. I'm just always really drawn to this one because it's so beautiful. Then another white aragonite I have, this one's from Morocco. I got this from Crystalworks Gallery in Vancouver, British Columbia, but this is a curved aragonite crystal, and it's pretty cool. I think these are sometimes called ram's horns, you see them called, but you don't find curved crystals in nature very often, so this is kind of a special piece. It's pretty cool. Now, similar to the cave calcite, the spiky aragonite that I just showed you, I also have an orange one. This one's from Morocco, and it's super gorgeous. And again, the color, from my understanding on these pieces, also comes from iron, so pretty interesting. And this I found is such a good emotional cleanser. So if you have some, deep emotional stuff going on, this is an awesome one to use if you can find it. Not terribly hard to find, but it's kind of a peach or orange aragonite in this beautiful coral-like structure. Okay, then I have a couple tumbled stones I'm going to show you. So these are actually called pink aragonite, and I don't remember the location on these. I want to say maybe it was Pakistan, but I don't 100% remember. But they're banded and they're pink in color. So sometimes you see this banded aragonite, and these are particularly beautiful. And this is another good emotional cleanser, but it's also a good heart healer. So if you just need a little bit of self-love, self-care, a little bit of nurturing, these are great pocket stones to use. And then finally, I have some brown banded aragonite from Peru. And I love these because, again, they have that great earthy energy, just like that botrytis aragonite from Peru. These are very, very similar. They're really grounding, really gentle. So I actually I have two of these because I like to place them on the floor and just set my feet on top of them really lightly and just let myself kind of feel that energy and get grounded. So that's a quick look at some different formations and colors of aragonite crystals and how they can be used. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little impromptu chat. I'm Ashley Levy of the Love and Light School of Crystal Therapy. If you want to know more about these formations of aragonite, you can check out the link to the blog post in the comments or description of the video. And until next time, crystal blessings. The Crystal Healing Certification Program is coming soon. Want to know more? For info, free training, and to get on the list, go to crystalhealerschool.com.